White dude.
The big tall guy just hung himself. Thank you. Yeah, he gave himself a chalk outline. I knew the guy actually. He was a nice guy. He hung himself. I talked to Joe DeRosa about it. I said, "You're 6'7". What do you hang yourself from? Like an airplane hanger? Like you really got to get a ladder and stuff."
Is the best you can do? A guy fucking hung himself, and this is the best you can do. Go ahead, caller.
He's probably the guy from Boston.
Hey, Kevin.
Yeah.
This is Chad. I'm calling from Los Angeles, California.
Sorry for your loss, Chad.
He was just making jokes about Brody Stevens. What would you say?
No, I was saying something about a chalk outline. But when you're 6'7", you hang yourself. You got to find a cathedral ceiling at the very least. Anybody? Hello, Chad? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm listening to your joke.
Okay. Well, listen. It's a work in progress. I'm working.
He's writing for you. That's all.
Brad Trackman. So what's up?
Brad's friends with Brody Stevens.
Not anymore.
Oh, come on, man.
Listen, he killed himself. Like whatever. Like he was miserable.
Hey, let the body cool.
Yeah. Well, then we can all like Marilyn Monroe. Remember that?
No. What do you mean? Remember what?
There's a rumor that people made love to Marilyn Monroe.
What do you mean made love? They fuck. You don't make love to a dead body. You fuck it.
Well, if you kiss it on the neck.
Made love.
Kiss it on the neck.
Oh, now he's like, I made love. He's making Brody Stevens jokes. Now he's like, I made love to a Marilyn Monroe. You're a fucking freak. Chad, I knew it was going to be bad, though. I knew once I saw that, I'm like, because he was like the center of a lot of shit, right?
Yeah, everyone knew Brody, and everyone loved him, man. I mean, I met him in 2005, and we were, like, really legit friends, and it's a sad day for comedy, man.
I knew it was going to fuck up L.A. because I knew he was like, everyone loved that guy.
Yeah, I got fucked up with him a bunch.
He was actually a big fan of Kevin's and Anthony. He wanted to do Cumia's show when he came to New York. He wanted to do your show.
Yeah, he wanted to do our show.
Oh.
He was,
usually
I got bad timing with bookings.
Usually people have hang-ups about being part of the show.
No, it's sad because, no, he was like a legendary kind of no, because when I lived out there, I did warm up on Jeselnik. He was the Jeselnik warm up guy.
Yeah,
and he couldn't do it for a couple weeks, so the guy who produced Norm's show produced Jeselnik's show. He was a guy who worked there, so he called me, so I did it. And I said, well, I asked them, how did Brody Stevens do warm up? They go, oh, it's like nothing you've ever seen, because they always said I was such a good warm up, but I felt like a hack because they said he was like amazing, but I can imagine him being amazing because he didn't really. His whole act was one-liners, so it was mostly like one-liners, and then he would talk in between the jokes. But it was more about like just him commenting on what was going on in the room, not really about the jokes.
There's also that new Brody Stevens knockout joke. Have you heard it?
Here comes the bad punchline.
What is it?
It's a knock knock.
Who's there?
Brody Stevens.
Brody Stevens who? That doesn't even make sense.
He's choking on a rope.
Oh.
I don't know. Look, the guy was clearly.
I asked Chad to call in, not so you could do this. You're a child. Yeah. You're like a drunk child.
We should have done the theme from MASH for the show today.
No, so Chad, so did you go to the Comedy Store on Friday?
Yeah, I went up with Tripoli, and it was like, I mean, everyone was crying. It was like, I mean, it was really weird. It was very odd. It was, you see Joe Rogan crying, you see the door guy crying. I mean, they were all wearing Brody shirts. It was quite an event.
Be funny, like Neil squirting lemons in his eyes so he can look like he's crying.
Yeah, Chad said Neil didn't even tweet about it or anything. He didn't say anything.
Broken up.
Yeah, I don't know if Brody had a relationship with Neil. I
no,
don't
but
know
you know what the thing is?
was.
You know the thing is, Chad, Neil's show 3 Mics was about how he's depressed, but it's like if he's really depressed, wouldn't he fucking hang himself? You know what I mean? So I think a guy like Brody was like, Neil's a fucking Neil's a poser. He's not really depressed. He's like he's using that angle to be so so women will be like, oh, what a backstory, because Brody didn't talk about how he was depressed in his act.
I want to thank you for
on his show he did, but not in his act. And Neil was like, I'm depressed.
I want to thank you for
I'm friends with Blake Griffin, and I'm sad about it.
I want to thank you for reminding me. I'm actually going to an event Thursday night, and I have a pair of wrinkled twill pants. I've got to get him depressed.
My God, you're horrible. God damn it! I never.
So
I
you
never
think
knew
Brody was trying to show what Neil what depression was all about?
No, I just think that I think if Neil put something out, I think everybody thinks Neil's a fraud anyway. So the whole Three Mics thing was like he's depressed, and it's like, what are you depressed about? Like Brody had like serious fucking issues. You know, he's bipolar, he's on meds and all this shit. And Neil's like, and you know, and I think Gary Goldman actually, I have a thing going with Gary Goldman, but I think he has because he has depression issues too, and he brought up Neil on stage. Like he was talking about Chappelle, and then he goes, the worst thing about Dave Chappelle is he brought us Neil Brennan because I think he resents the fact that Neil's like, I'm depressed and give me a special.
You think Gary Goldman calls his testicles his Goldman Sachs?
I don't know. We got to get him on the ask.
Oh boy!
No, but he was it's sad, man. It's just sad. It's a sad fucking situation. So,
We
anyway.
had gigs booked together this summer. We were supposed to do some gigs together, Brody and I.
And Florentine, you and Florentine and Sam did Texas together, right?
Yeah, we did like a mini tour, and it was so much fun hanging, man. Like you told me.
That was a Freudian slip.
Fun hanging.
Dude, I gotta go. Brian's annoying the shit out of me.
I'm sorry, Chad. Follow him on Twitter. I'm sorry that the guy passed away. I hung out with him a bunch of times. I'm sorry he passed away. But
You hung out with him?
yeah, a bunch of times.
Say hung out with him.
Yeah, you're right. He can't help it. Can't help it. I spent time with him. And so,
When?
It's like over the years. I'm no spring
With
chicken.
who?
It's usually when Joe's in town. We'd go out. And,
What did DeRosa say?
Joe Rose actually a really good take on it. He was like people, because I called him. I said, look, you knew this guy a lot better than I did. I'm sorry for you. But like there is comedy in tragedy. We've all seen The Masks. But it's the kind of thing where like he said, look, we were friends. We weren't like great friends. But he's like the guy was completely miserable and depressed and sad and like so. Sometimes if you want to like pull the cord, like pull the cord. You know what I mean? Like sometimes life is a painful thing on a good day. So. He's in a better place. If it's no place, he's in a better place than where he is. If he's just laying in the ground,
He's nowhere. He's nowhere. There's no afterlife. He's nowhere.
Right.
He's not up there like, hey, he's looking down. No, he's dead. My dad's dead. There's been no sign of him.
Right. He's like, whoa.
He would have fucking pushed Neil in front of a train by now.
Never marry a wop.
The thing is that I knew a lot of guys who knew him, my friend Mike Gibbons, he was executive producer on the show that he did for Comedy Central. So, it's been an ongoing thing, but everyone loved him because he was like,
he was a great guy.
He was a great guy, and he was very supportive guy.
Gentle. They called him a gentle giant.
I don't think they ever did.
But when Chad goes, it's a sad day for comedy. You're just kind of like, I'm just like,
it is though. They were all fucked up though.
Yeah,
I knew they were. As soon as I saw that he died, I knew the LA guys were going to be all fucked up about it because he lived there. He was like he's one of the few guys who was from there.
Right.
So he was like all about the 818, which was like funny in itself. Because nobody has ever been for the 818, which is
Thousand Oaks area code.
Yeah, no, which is the Valley area code, right. 818, and everybody was like 312 or 310. Nobody was 818. So he was like the real deal. Everybody loved him. He did warm up on all those shows. He did warm up on Chelsea Handler's show, I guess, forever, and he was kind of legendary from that. So whatever. I don't know.
It's sad, but again, the guy was so miserable, he killed himself. And
here's the thing: the next day, I tweeted. I go. They always say, check on. What did I tweet? I had like a funny tweet, but it wasn't even funny because I told it to Chad, and then Chad goes, "Oh, you should tweet that." Hold on.
This is good radio right here.
I mean, you could talk, you fucking retard. When I want you to talk, you don't talk.
What I really was concerned when I first heard about it, because my vision isn't great or whatever. I thought it was Adrian.
I tweeted. I go, not one person checked on me today. Check on people with mental problems is what everyone says, but no one does it.
No,
and that's a fact. Like, because Dan Natterman, he probably has like mental issues. He probably wants to kill himself every day. Does anyone check on him? No, because he's a fucking handful. So you avoid people that have mental problems because you call people that are like that'll make you happy. So nobody calls somebody who's like all dark and be like, "Hey, you gonna hang yourself today?" So those are the people that nobody fucking reaches out to, and then after the fact they go, "Oh yeah, reach out." Reach out to who?
Well, I was really concerned when I first heard the news because I honestly thought it was Adrian Brody, and I felt badly for his wife because I always thought he had a nice pianist.
Oh my god! I wish we had an ejector seat.